Why don't we get started? Again, good morning. My name is Ron Peaster. I work in the membership department at the Code Council, and pleased to welcome all of you to our fourth quarter chapter webinar for 2026. This is a final webinar for for this year, and we're very glad that you've joined us. Let's start off with some introductions. I'd like to introduce some members of your chapter support team. First, Tamika Dunning. Tamika, you want to introduce yourself?
Yes. Good morning. I'm Tamika Dunning, Member Services here at ICC, and I'm excited to be with you today. And I did see somebody said that there was a screen up of Long Beach. I think that was just probably not edited for this time, so just ignore that. That was probably just an oversight of an update. So yes, that was last year. So sorry about that. All right. Glad to have you here today and looking forward to sharing some great information about what to look forward to in 2026. Thanks.
Okay, thanks, Tamika. Next, our colleague Grace McGregor. Grace, you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Grace McGregor. I work with Ron and Tamika on the membership team. I do a lot of data analysis type stuff on our membership data, and I work with chapters a lot, so you maybe know me already.
Okay, thanks, Grace. We also have a special guest. I'll wait to introduce him until his presentation. Stephen Wagner from KWSM. So, Stephen, glad you've joined us, and we're looking forward to your presentation.
Yeah, happy to be here. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So, just a couple of housekeeping items. If you have any questions, please add them to the chat, and Grace will monitor that and chime in as questions come up, and we'll certainly try to have some time for questions at the end of the webinar. Also, at the end of this webinar, you'll be asked to fill out a short survey. And we strongly encourage you to fill that survey out. That really helps us to establish topics for future webinars, and we'll be looking at those surveys to begin to develop our agendas for the 2026 webinars. So please make sure you fill out that survey. Also, after this webinar, everyone will receive. You'll receive an email with a recording of the webinar in about a week or so, and also the recording of this webinar will be posted on our webinar chapter webinars webpage. So, if you have not been to our chapter webinars webpage, make sure to bookmark that because that's a tremendous source for valuable information. We not only have all the recordings of our webinars, but we have links to all of the pertinent and relevant information that we talk about at each webinar. So that may be a place where you can get a lot of your questions answered just by going through and looking at some of that information. So let's move into some general announcements. Tamika, why don't you take it from here?
Okay, sure. Let's see. I'm going to start off with our annual reports. I'm sure a lot of you know that the year is winding down and that you could, at any time of the year, you can submit your annual report beginning in January. So for this year, for instance, as soon as it opens in January, because it will close December 31st, you won't be able to submit anymore because that's the end of 2025. But anytime throughout this year, you could have submitted, whether it was in January, March, the summer, whenever, and redeem for your benefits. But if you do that before, let's say, the deadline for March 15th, you can be submitted and requested to looked at for awards. So you want to make sure that you do that in January. But when we do open, it'll be somewhere in mid-January. We'll be sure to let you know. But ICC closes for the holidays, so you'll want to look out for the opening date when we come back from the holidays to open up the annual report section of my ICC will allow all of your officers access to that. So you can determine who in your leadership group will go in and submit the annual report when that opens, but you have the whole 2026 to do that. So for this year, even if you haven't done it, it's not too late, but it is, however, too late to book a training. So training requires 60 days in advance of booking an ICC trainer. So you've missed that one. But if you have points or something you want to redeem, or for instance, points that you may have acquired and you want to use it for purchasing items or something, you can go ahead and buy those and then submit your reimbursement, but you need to get that submitted before the end of the year, because when the fiscal year closes, I need to have those reimbursements submitted and have your money back to you before the end of that fiscal year. So please get that done before then. So for all the chapters that are like, oh, we didn't get to use anything, you still have time, but those are the only things you can still use, the things that are still left. Very few things left to do. For any questions about the annual reports, just drop that in there. But submitting annual reports, some tips on getting prepared for that in January. I highly recommend that you go ahead and pick who's going to do it. Look at your calendar year and determine when's the best time to do it. And also, if you're interested in being considered for annual awards, then you'll want to make sure that the timing is right for making sure you don't miss that deadline. And make sure that your officers are updated. If you're planning on updating officers, when you submit the annual report, the officers are automatically updated. So unless you have a change after the submission of your annual report, you really don't have to touch your officers anymore after that. So it's better to go ahead and update them at the time of submission, so you don't really have to change it unless somebody drops off or you have a switch during the year. So consider that. You might want to sit down and gather all of the things you've done, and really all over through the year, start to think about the things you've done. So when it's time to put them in the annual report, you can do that. Grace is also, if she hasn't done it yet, I think she did, she's going to drop a link to a level on how to submit your annual report. Also some questions so that you can start to think about the questions that of you for the award section consideration. And the first part is just your officers. So if you're thinking about it, we really encourage more people to apply for this part too, because we didn't have a whole lot of submissions. I think more people should submit for that. We really could see more chapters doing that. I don't know if they're thinking, oh, well, we didn't do a lot. Do it anyway. Do it anyway. You would be surprised. So please take advantage of the part 2 this year. Let's see. The next thing. Member support portal. That's what I wanted to show. We have a brand new page. I'm going to see if I can access the internet now. I was having some trouble. But if it opens, I'll show you. Yep, it's opening. So give me a minute. All right, let me share my screen. All right. Okay. So, all right, team, confirm with me that you're seeing the iccsafe.org.
Yep,
Okay.
we can see it.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Two things I want to point out, just so that you guys know that 2 things to help you find information that you're looking for. We're always working to try to make it easier for you to get where you need to go. But real quick, we implemented something that we have been working on for quite some time, over a year, but a membership support page was created for the most asked questions or the most sought after topics for help. And it's under this member resources tab. So we have under membership, there's 6 topics. And under member resources, you can find the new support portal and our member resources page. So let's go to support portal first. That is where all of the major things that our members ask questions about. You can request to merge records here. That's where we have a lot of those requests made. Update primary contacts on our corporate and governmental accounts, the status of membership, the submission for membership council applications, which basically takes you to the community. And that's where you log into MyCC and go straight there. Submit membership, sales tax certificates, add, remove employees, make changes before your auto renewal happens. So if your credit card is going to change, you can make that change there. And to request an invoice if you're a corporate, or most of them like invoices. So our corporate and governmental members need to request those. They can do it here, and just simply to renew. And if these topics don't fit what you're looking for, you can go directly to that first option you saw, which was the member resources page, and it takes you here. This one has all the other things that may be of interest to members looking for help. You've got chapters, councils, committees, government tools, just a wealth of information here. So for the longest time, there was a support portal hiding somewhere on the main page that it was just hard to find. So now it's a little bit easier to find. Want to make sure that you guys know how to get to it. But also, if you ever need to go straight to chapters, it's out there, the last option on the list. Not that it's last, because you guys are actually, really important. So we really wish to be at the top of the list. But chapters are right there, prominent, so you can get to it quickly. So just wanted to point out those two things. Major, big step in the right direction, because the forms, when you click on those, they actually save our team. You probably know that we have 2 other team members in our department, and that consists of everybody. It's just me, Ron, Grace, and then the other 2. And so they process the memberships, but all of those requests, they deal with them pretty much. So all of those requests are then sorted by those topics. So now they don't have to sort through all those members at emails, and they're all hiding in there and you don't know what they're about. Now they're sorted. So they're able to see what types of work, needs to be done, and it's already sorted. So that's been a big help to us in our department. So that's a big change. And we are now seeing a whole lot of people getting help a lot faster. So that is something I wanted to point out. And I believe that's really all I have. I'm going to turn it back over to Ron.
Okay,
Stop sharing my
thanks.
screen.
Thanks,
Mhm.
Tamika. So before I introduce Stephen for our main presentation, wanted to just give everyone a reminder about our Chapter Leadership Academy for 2026. The Academy next year will be held in Hartford, Connecticut as part of ICC Leadership Week. It'll be April 17th and 18th. And that's a Friday and a Saturday, and that will immediately precede the beginning of the public comment hearings, where we will see the final determination on the provisions for the 2027 international codes. Where all our membership councils will also have their governing committees meeting in Hartford, and we are also partnering with a great organization to bring a new event to Leadership Week, and that's Women Leaders in Code Enforcement. This is an organization that's had a seminar for the past several years. It's a fantastic event that provides great leadership presentations and leadership opportunities. So we're partnering with WLCE for 2026. You'll see information regarding how to register if you're interested in attending WLCE, but also for those who are going to attend the Chapter Leadership Academy, you don't have to attend both. You can attend either or. But the academy is going to focus on effective chapter administration and management. That's going to be the theme of our academy for next year. And so we've been hearing a lot of feedback from our Academy attendees that you're looking for specific information on how to effectively run a chapter. So we already have a couple of sessions that are in development. One is going to be legal aspects for chapters by a great individual who actually works for the city of Hartford, Connecticut, and she has done a lot of training for us in the past. Judith Rothschild, you may, if you know her from the New England area, she's a tremendous resource, and so she's going to be teaching our legal aspects course. We're also going to have a presentation on Robert's Rules of Order for chapter meetings. So that'll give a little bit of insight into Robert's Rules and how you can effectively use Robert's Rules to make sure that your chapter meetings run smoothly and efficiently. Beyond that, we just posted a call for submissions. This is the second year we've done this, where we invite you, chapter leaders, to submit a topic for presenting at our academy, and you can go through and give us an overview of what you would be presenting. I think Grace has put into the chat the link for the call for presentations. If you have a best practice that your chapter is very proud of or want to share with other chapters, this is a great opportunity for you to show that best practice to your fellow chapter leaders. So the call for presentations will be open until January 15th. We'll then review those submissions, and we'll select the final presentations for the Academy for next year, and we'll notify everyone, and then we'll look forward to working with you to finalize our schedule and get ready for the Academy. So please consider submitting an application or a submission if you want. If you are selected, your travel expenses will be reimbursed as a presenter for the Academy. So we'll be able to help support your attendance at the Academy as a presenter. So with that, I'm going to introduce again Stephen Wagner. Stephen and KWSM have been partners of ours for several years now, and KWSM develops the chapter websites that are available to all of you as a chapter benefit. And if any of you represent chapters that utilize our chapter benefit and have worked with KWSM, I would encourage all of you to just put a note in the chat. How's that going? And what your chapter name is, so that maybe even a link to your chapter website, so other chapter members and leaders can take a look at that. So with that, I'll pleased to introduce Stephen Wagner. Stephen, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks, Ron. I'm excited to be here and excited to talk more about this and answer any questions that you have. So I'm going to just go ahead and share my screen, my presentation here, and then we'll get going. All right. We're going to talk today about the website benefit that's available to the chapters. We're going to talk a little bit about the features, the functionality, and then talk about a specific new feature that we're rolled out over the last few months about membership management. So let's get started. First, here's the overview. We're going to talk about who KWSM is. We're going to talk about why an active and updated website is important. We're going to talk about some features and benefits, and then we're going to leave some time for questions that you may have. So let's jump right into it. Who's KWSM? We were founded in 2010. We are a full-service digital marketing agency that creates and executes integrated digital marketing strategies that generate leads and sales. And a big part of that is websites. But we also do other services such as digital ads, brand messaging, social media, those types of things as well. We have 4 offices, one in Orange County, one in San Diego, Las Vegas, and Atlanta. And we have 40 full-time employees. We've worked with over 1,000 different businesses and organizations over the 15 years. So we've pretty much seen it all across all industries and been worked with a lot of different businesses and organizations. So let's talk about ICC and KWSM. So as Ron said, we've worked together for many years, and we actually launched the first version of this chapter website back in 2019. So it's been about 6 years. And the goal of this was to provide a benefit to the chapters to be able to update their websites. You know, ICC came and realized that a lot of the websites were maybe old or outdated, maybe didn't have the features and functionalities that needed for a modern site, and ultimately wanted to provide a way to unify the brand across the different chapters and provide a resource to the chapters to be able to better and more efficiently manage the chapter that they have and be able to have a better user experience for those visiting the websites for the chapters. And so over the years, we've done a few different versions, but we launched the latest version of these chapter websites last year, in the middle of last year. And so I'm going to talk about some of those updates and what we did and where we are now with that. And then I'm going to talk about some new stuff that we've just rolled out pretty recently. So before I get into that, I just want to talk really briefly about why an active website is important. Why is it important to have a website? What is the goal? Why is this something that you should be looking at, and why you should be looking at updating your site or using it? And the first and most critical thing is your website is the hub of all of the activity for your organization. So whether it's marketing or emails or applications or things like that, your website is going to be the place that everyone's going to ultimately come back to or should be coming back to in order to get the information, process payments, sign up for events, things like that. And so if that website isn't working and functioning at its highest level, then it's just going to inhibit the ability for your members to be able to do what they need to do. So when a website is working properly, it's going to make life really easy. When it's not working properly, it's just going to make your life really hard. And so that was the goal of this whole chapter benefit for this website, is to just make your lives easier. So what will it do? What does a good website do? In this case, number one, is going to keep people informed. What are the upcoming events, meetings, recaps of those events, meeting minutes, things like that. It's going to keep people informed about what's going on in that chapter, so they don't have to reach out to someone or look for an email. They can just go to the website and find that right away. It's also going to keep new members engaged. So they're going to be able to find information about what's going on in the chapter. They're going to be able to find resources, whether that's professional development or otherwise. And so it's going to keep members engaged with what's going on in the chapter. It's going to be able to attract new members. Not only is it going to provide the information about who the chapter is, when you meet, those types of things, but you're going to be able to process applications and payments on the website so that you're not having to send out PDFs or some kind of manual thing. You can do that directly through the website, and it makes everyone's life easy. And ultimately, it will make your life easier. Like I said, a good website is going to make your life easy. And if you can leverage the technology properly, it is going to streamline your operations, cut down on administrative tasks, and ultimately make it a better experience for everyone involved. So what are some features and benefits of these websites? Because you can do anything you want with a website, right? We could build any website you wanted, but we wanted to build a site that was really honing in on the needs for these chapters, okay? And so first, you get a website. This is a website that's built on WordPress, which is the most popular website platform. And what we've done is we've basically built a custom template for ICC specifically and for these chapters. We do the heavy lifting. So you're going to give us the information that we need, but we're going to go and build the site, and it's going to look great and it's going to function great. And we're going to do all of that work for you and then give that site back to you so that you can obviously review and approve it and then use it and be able to do that. But we're going to do all the heavy lifting. You're going to have direct access to the site. So we definitely are there to support and can do that, but you also will have access to that site so that if you want to post or someone on your team wants to post or update or whatever it is that you need to do, you're going to have direct access to it, and it's a very user-friendly back end of the site. It's a modern design, modern functionality, meaning it looks good, it looks current, it looks like a site that is meant to be live in 2025 and now 2026, and it's going to work the way you expect it to. So if someone fills out a form, the form is going to go to the right place. If someone is signing up and paying for an event, the thing payment is going to go through. I know those things sound rudimentary, but in the website world, you'd be surprised at how often those very important things don't actually work. So we make sure that they do, and it's so that you guys don't have to worry about that. We provide support after the site launches. So this isn't just we hand it over to you and see you later, good luck. We provide support, meaning if you want us to update the site with information like a new event or post minutes or things like that, we are there and available to support you. 1 hour a month is included in this. And so we have a support email that you can email us, and we'll get back to you within 24 hours with either letting you know when it's going to happen or doing what it is that you need done, depending on the scope of the project. And we try to do this very quickly. These are launched in approximately 2 to 3 weeks, so long as we have the information that we need from you. We're able to get these things done very quickly. So, if you're planning for the new year and thinking about this in the new year, now is the perfect time to start working on getting approvals and going through that process so that we can start working on it and ultimately get this thing launched and kick off the new year in the right way. Here's an example website. This is the Orange Empire chapter. This is in Orange County, California. So basically the layout of these sites is similar, but we're able to customize things like the logo and the colors and the images and the text and all that kind of stuff. And so you can see what that looks like. And then if we were to scroll down below, you can see we've got place for officers and board members, job openings, resources, and then a nice call to action at the end. So some features that we have, obviously events, the chapters are very event and meeting driven. So that's an important thing. And I'll show you a little bit more about that. We've got the ability to have online applications, payment processing for applications and for events. We do job listings, listing out who the board of directors are, and then providing a place for resources for your chapter. And so when we launched the new site, the new version of this site last year, one of the things that we did was we went out and we did a survey of chapter members and leaders and said, what is it that you were looking for from the old version, so that when we updated the new version, we would include these. And the things that came up as common themes was, number one, making sure the design stays current and is updated and looks like a modern site. 2 is having more flexibility. The old version was a little bit more fixed in what we could do with it. So the new version is very flexible, meaning even though it's a template that we've built, we can do pretty much anything you want if you have an idea for what that is going to look like. And I'll give you guys some examples of that. Obviously, events are going to be key and critical. The ability to pay for events. So we've integrated payment processing into the site, having things like photo galleries, event recaps, job postings. And then what's new, and this is interesting, when we launched the new platform last year, a lot of chapters came and said, we want to participate in this, and we want to be able to have the ability to manage our membership through it, because a lot of the current membership management software comes with a website add-on. So they want to be able to transfer everything over. So over the last few months, we've actually built that out as an option to add on. I'm going to talk more about that in a little bit. So this is the updated design. This is the base template. And I already showed you the Orange Empire chapter, but this is the base template. And so you can see if you don't have anything for your chapter, this is basically what it will look like, but we can customize any of these elements here. So the logo, the colors, the images, the text. And so as you can see, that's what we've done with the Orange Empire chapter, is we've actually customized all of that. So it looks and feels very much like, this is a chapter from Orange County, California, as opposed to just something more generic. And so we've done that with a variety of chapters, across the country. We've got more flexibility. So if you want to add in like specific bios or like some of you have specific committees that you want to list out, or just pages or functionality that you say, you know, our chapter really needs, you know, X, Y, and Z. We can build that out on this platform in a really efficient way. And so that allows you to be able to have a website that we can get there very quickly, and we can customize as needed down the road. Events are obviously very important. And so you can see this is on the home page. You've got the events listed here that you can click on. So on the left, you've got this is what the preview looks like. And then you open it up into its own page. And this is just an example of one event, but this top part here can actually, you can add images, you can add all kinds of text. You can make this very, very robust. The ability to register for the event directly here, and that can be linked externally to another website if you want to, or you can have it directly processed and register through the website here. And then we've got details at the bottom. This is you just enter the information. As long as you enter the address correctly, this map automatically pops up. So it's got a Google Map integration directly right into there. So that makes it really nice for these events to be very robust with all the information that people need. We've got the ability to have event recaps and photo galleries, job postings. So these could be directly on the site, or most frequently it's linked externally. And so we can link these externally to where that job is actually posted. And this is the new thing that we've rolled out. I want to talk about this a little bit because it's a new feature. And like I said, many chapters use an online platform to manage their membership. And that does things like creates a database of who the members are, processes payments, auto renewals for members. You can have different levels of memberships. You can email people through this software. And the thing about it is it's a very complex thing to do to manage your membership. And so what we've done is we've actually are working with an external third-party company called Membership Works, and that actually handles the bulk of the actual management of the membership there. And what we're able to do is integrate that into the website, so it's a seamless experience. So as you can see here, this is Missouri Association of Code Enforcement. They've got this set up with Membership Works. And if you actually click on membership here, there's a membership login, and it's just integrated directly into the website. So they don't have to leave the website. They don't have to go somewhere else. They're accessing it directly from the website. And that's allowing them to get into the site there. And so this does come with a bit of a small extra cost, depending on how many members that you have, for not only just to set it up and integrate it into the site, but also to for the actual software itself. But we found it to be very competitive compared to the other things, and it does allow you to take advantage of the website benefit, which is free to the chapters. So I'm really excited about that. We've done this with several sites already, and been very successful with it. And I know that they've been very happy with it. So excited about that, and we'll answer any questions that you have about that as well. So what is the process? Really quick. The first thing is you're going to fill out this form. It's at kwsmdigital.com/ICC. And this is just give us some basic information, reach out, let us know that you're interested. Okay. I'm also going to put a QR code on the next slide, and Grace said she'd drop the link into the chat as well. Once we receive that information, we're going to reach out. We're going to have a quick call and just touch base about the website and what you're looking for and any kind of specific needs that you have. And from there, we're going to gather the information that we need for the website. So we'll send you a much more robust form that's going to ask you for the content for the site, and things like if you have a logo and those types of things. So once we get that back from you, then we're going to confirm the information. We're going to build the site. Usually once we have that info, it takes us about 2 weeks to build. And then we'll send that to you for review, make sure that we're editing and make sure it looks good and the information is correct. You know, Frequently, there will be more information that we'll need from you once we've actually built the site out. So once we get that, we'll finalize the site and then we'll launch it. And the site is launched to any domain that you want. So if you have an existing domain or a site on an existing web domain, then we would be able to launch directly to that domain as well. And so that is the overview of the process. And how to get started. Like I said, you just complete the form at kwsmdigital.com/ICC, or you can scan this QR code here, and Grace is going to drop that in the chat as well. So that's what I've got. Any questions? You're also welcome to email me directly at steven@kwsmdigital.com.
I have a question in the chat here.
Yeah.
Are there options for forms to be posted on the website?
Forms or forums?
Form, not forum.
Forms, yes, absolutely. Forms, yes. Yeah, forms are really easy to post on the site, whether it be like a PDF or whether you want to do actually like a web form where people are filling out, fields and submitting those types of things. Yes. Am I able to share the cost of the membership software? It depends on the number of members that you have. I believe that it is up to 300 members is $35 a month. And then if you have over 300 but less than 600, I believe it's like $60 a month. So it's very it's not very expensive at all. And I'm happy to talk with you about that more specifically if we want to have a conversation.
Yeah. Do they email you for this conversation? How do they start that conversation?
I would just recommend filling out that form. That's the best way to do it. Fill out the form, and then I receive that, my team receives that, but we'll reach out and get a meeting scheduled. All right, looks like Ben says, very interested in learning more about the Membership Works integration and the cost of additional service. How do we start that? Yep, like I said, just fill out that form that you've got here, and we'll be able to talk with you more about it. And also, if you already have an existing site on this benefit and you want to add membership management software to it through Membership Works, that's something that we can do as well. So it's not something you have to do all up front. It's something that could be done at a later time. Just want to make that clear. All right. Oh, thank you for filling out the form.
Filled out the form already.
Appreciate that. I received the form. All right. Any other questions?
Can you share more about the payment integration too, and the cost associated?
Yeah, the payment integration is through, we use Stripe as the payment processor, which is a very large and well-known and basically website payment processor. And so there's no cost, like direct monthly cost to that. There's no additional cost to get that set up. It's just there are credit card processing fees that are associated with it that are roughly 3% of the credit cards that are processed, which is industry standard for credit card processing. So that's something that you can be aware of. You can pass that along to members if you'd like, just as an additional increase in 3% in order for the convenience of paying with credit card, or you guys can choose to just accept that as a way to be a convenient way to accept payment. All right. Let's see here. Tina, does the membership integration include adding a portion of the site for members only? Yes, there is the option to have member only view pages and things like that, so that if you want to have stuff that only the members can view when they're logged in, then you can have that. Yes, good question. Thank you, Tina. Any other questions?
Not seeing anything in the chat.
Okay.
Seems to have slowed down.
Great. Well, like I said, if you guys do have any more questions, you're welcome to reach out to me, and we can go from there. Looks like we've got a couple more here. How quickly could we set up the payment integration on an existing site? If it's a site that we have, that payment integration should already be set up. If it's a site that we don't manage, then we are not able to set that up on a site that we haven't built. Ben, so maybe we can chat about that. I'm not sure if you're a site that we already built or not. And then Tina asked, can I send a blast from membership? From or to the membership? You can send a blast to the membership. I'm not sure from the membership is, yes, there we go. To the membership. Yep. Yeah, you can do that definitely. All right, Kevin, thanks for that note. Sounds good. If you guys have any questions about that as you enter that discussion with your board members, I'm always happy to answer those questions, set up a meeting. Can I do a customized presentation to our chapter board? I am happy to, yes, absolutely. If you want me to have a meeting with your chapter board to talk about this, I am happy to do that. That is no problem.
All right. Well, we've had some great interaction here.
Yes.
Good questions, and it's helped, Stephen, for you to provide a great presentation. Stephen, I want to thank you for joining us today, and I especially appreciate how you and KWSM have over the years have listened very carefully to our chapters and have made adjustments and refinements and improvements that now make this chapter website benefit even better than it ever has been before. And with some of the features you discussed today, this is exactly what our chapters are looking for. We, at the chapter president's meeting last year in Long Beach, yeah, I think you may remember some of these questions were asked by a couple of chapter leaders, and you responded to that, and now we have those features available. So it's just a great partnership. We really appreciate working with you, and how great of a service you provide to our chapters. So, Stephen, thank you very much. And
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
yeah, as Stephen said, if you have any other questions, feel free to reach out directly to Stephen or to Tamika, Grace, and me, and we can put you in touch with Stephen. So, thanks again. All right. Couple of before we go to some general questions, in case people have questions about other things, there were a couple of things that I forgot to mention before I turned it over to Stephen, and one is it wanted to make sure that everyone was aware about a new feature in our member community, and that's the app that we launched just before the annual conference. So now, if you go to the App Store and search ICC Member Community, you can download an app that allows you to interact through the ICC Member Community through any of your devices. So that's a and we're already seeing how that app is increasing engagement on the member community. So I encourage all of you to go and download the member community app and utilize that feature and benefit for our members. The other thing that I wanted to mention, it's regarding the Chapter Leadership Academy. We actually have one other presentation that will be happening, and I think you'll be really excited to hear about this. This year, the winner of the W. Scott Kopp Chapter Leadership Award was Adelaide Schaffeld. And Adelaide has agreed to come to the Academy in Hartford and share her experience as a chapter leader and her path to leadership, so that all of you can understand sort of that experience from her perspective. I think it's going to be a great presentation. We're really excited that Adelaide will be joining us, and it'll be another great reason to attend the Academy next year. So, and I noticed that Adelaide's on the call today. So Adelaide, thank you for agreeing to come and join us, and we look forward to your presentation in the spring. All right. So with that, Tamika, any other reminders that we need to share with the chapter leaders today?
No, I think we covered everything. We do have about a little over 10 minutes left. If they had anything that they might want to ask us that we didn't get a chance to do, but I do want to remind them to take the brief survey at the end. And I know they may have done it, at previous ones, but we need their input every time. So if they've got something to add to it so that we can continue to improve every time we do one, we'd like to get better.
Absolutely. Thank you. Yeah. So if anyone has any general questions that you'd like to bring up now, now's the time to do it. Type it into the chat, and we'll see if we can answer them for you.
If not, we'll definitely get to it. We can always reach out to you afterwards.
So, Lindsay, we do not, a great question. We do not have the dates for next year's quarterly webinars, but we will be, we'll have them posted on the chapter quarterly webinar page before the end of this year. So look back to that page for the 2026 webinar dates. Okay, last call for questions. All right. Well, we're gonna give you 10 minutes back to your day. So hopefully, let's see. We did get one last question squeaked in there. Kevin, can you share a link or location where the recording will be in several weeks? Grace, if you could just put in a link to the chapter webinar webpage, then that'll do that. So yeah, that we have again, as I mentioned, Kevin, we have a web page that's dedicated to our chapter webinars, and that includes the recordings of all of the webinars. Grace just put it in the chat, and links to the pertinent information from each of those webinars. So great resource for all of your chapters. So, okay.
And get it emailed directly to you. Each person that registered will also get the link emailed.
That's right. Good point, Tamika.
We'll cover our bases. We'll cover our bases there. So if you don't see it on that web page, you'll get it emailed as well.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess that's it for today. Thanks to all of you for joining us today. Thanks for the great participation with Stephen and in the questions that you submitted. And I hope that was informational to you. I thought it was a great conversation. And as this is our last webinar of the year, we, on behalf of Tamika, Grace, and myself, and all of us at ICC, we hope you have a great remainder of your year. Have a wonderful holiday season, and we look forward to serving and supporting you and your chapters in 2026. So thanks, everyone. Have a great day.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.